I almost lost my life 3 times. I wasn't ready to die. So I discovered how I can save my own life. As a result, Dianne's Call Natural Living Lifestyle show was created. So let's answer the call to make our health a priority. Dianne's Call. Welcome to Dianne's Call Natural Living Lifestyle Show, where we show the world how to live naturally with flair, fun, and tasty. And I am at World Taste in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm going to let this gentleman tell you his name because I love the way he says his name. So tell us a little bit about yourself at World Taste.
My name is Chef Chauncy. I'm the executive chef at World Taste Restaurant. And I'm originally from Liberia, West Africa.
Okay.
And majority of the food here is like a fusion mix.
So
A
you're
little bit of
from
everything.
Liberia, West Africa.
Yes.
How long have you been in the United States?
I've been here since I was 12 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a long time.
How long have you been in Atlanta, Georgia?
Atlanta, Georgia, I've only been here for 4 months now.
Okay, so you've been here for 4 months.
Yes.
We are at World Taste.
Uh-huh.
How long has World Taste been here?
World Taste have been here for 3 months. And we are brand new,
Yes.
but the food that we create here is old. It's been around for a very long time, and so it's like the restaurant is kind of like the restaurant is the chef because the chef is the one that bring the food into the restaurant.
So our chef, Chauncy, has an order now, and we're gonna follow him into the kitchen. Listen, Dianne's Call has taken it to a new level. We are in the kitchen with the executive chef at World Taste Restaurant, which is truly amazing. My first time was yesterday, and I'm hooked. I had the amazing plantain vegan burger. No bread. The plantain was the bread, and it was so amazing. And so we're back here. He's letting us come to his where he creates these masterpieces. Chef right here, I just love it. He is letting us have a backstage VIP pass. So what are you getting ready to make now?
Right now I'm about to make, I got a ticket for a lamb chop and jollof rice. So I'm about to make that right now. It don't really take that long. It's very simple. Drop the lamb, drop the corn, make the gravy, and cook the jollof rice. That's about it.
How long you been a chef?
I've been a chef for 19 years.
You've been a chef for 19 years?
19 years.
And how old are you again?
So when I said I've been a chef for 19 years, it also started back with my mother training me to be a chef since I was a little kid. So I always had that in my DNA.
Okay.
So a lot of people look at themselves to be a cook, stuff like that, but I never saw myself as a cook. I always saw myself as like a chef, even when I was a little boy.
Okay, well keep
So,
doing your thing. I'm just watching. We having a good time back here. Talk a little bit about what you're doing.
So right now, what I'm actually doing, I'm seasoning like my lamb chop up. I just heat all my pans up, and I'm hitting it with a little bit of seasoning on the lamb.
So tell us about the seasoning.
That seasoning is like a beef and like vegetable seasoning that's like blend up together into like a fine dust, and this is what I use for like my lamb. And then now the next thing I'm about to do now is make my sauce for the lamb.
So chef, yesterday when I was eating, everything was so delicious and so tasty, and I didn't need to add any seasonings to anything. And you said something about no salt, that you don't cook with salt. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So when you cook with with salt, you have a tendency of over seasoning your food a lot, and like salt, it's not very, it's not, it's not a healthy choice, and it's very quick to over season like your food, and that's one of those things that you have to find a better solution to season your food. So what I usually use is I use a lot of fresh herbs, fresh spices, and sometimes I use the sea salt water. I use that, and then if you if you if you take all the fresh herbs and you bake it, grind it up, add a little bit of salt water to it or some Himalayan salt, grind that up, and you have your own homemade seasoning. It's very simple. You don't have to use a lot of processed seasoning to create a wonderful meal. And I don't like using kosher salt because it's like tiny little grains, but it's easy to just overpower like, your food with that. But I do use the kosher salt for my French fries because French fries have to have that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta put some kind of salt on your French fries, right?
The aroma in here is just like smells so good. Especially onions, like I could just eat that and be fine. I really could. Some onions and tomatoes, put a little bit of your sauce in there, and I'm good. Look at that. Yesterday you said something to me that was so intriguing, and you said that you became a vegan for about a year or so. I thought that was fascinating because you wanted to walk in the shoes of a vegan.
I went vegan for 2 years,
Okay.
and the reason why is because if you're a chef and you want to create some of the best recipes, sometimes you have to live in those shoes. So think like that. So create the best. And when I went vegan, I realized that I was always hungry, I was always tired, I was always weak. And I was like, and then all the vegan restaurants I went to, it wasn't working for me when it comes to the food. It was very dry, it was very stiff, it was weak, it had no life in it. So I told myself that I cannot go on like this. So let me start to create something amazing for myself. So I didn't do it for vegans, I did it for myself. And once I started to create that for myself, I realized that I was onto something helping other vegans out that was just like me, looking for more means to try to float themselves up when they go out there.
And so all of your dishes have been very well thought out. You have purpose and reason behind all of your dishes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So jollof rice, is that native to your country?
I'm from West Africa, and one of the famous things that we actually have there is jollof rice. And jollof rice is kind of like, it's like a poor man dish. It's like when you don't have like meat or chicken up in your house, you will cook a rice and put in all the little special stuff in there, like all the little leftover, like leftover vegetables, leftover tomato paste, mixed vegetables. You just stock it up with all these leftover greens, and then in a way that jollof rice turn into like this rice with just everything in it except meat.
So all great chefs taste their food.
Yep.
All right.
You gotta taste what you're serving.
So please tell us a little bit about your vegan. You have 2 vegan dishes.
Yeah.
The cauliflower and the vegan burger. Tell us a little bit about those.
The vegan burger, I realized that vegan patties are very dry. It's made with black beans. It's just stiff. So I found a way to make my vegan burger homemade. I use purple potatoes, very nice and soft.
Yeah.
And then it's stacked very high. And I use plantain as the bun because I never really been a fan of bread. I don't like bread. It have a lot of carbs in it and the wheat, flour, all that stuff. And then too, vegan bread is very dry, very stiff. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to deal with all that bread stuff. Let me just have my plantain as the bun. And that's how I came about it. And then the cauliflower wings. I have a lot of vegans come here and they said, wow, I really want to eat chicken wings, but I don't really want to have the chicken. So what can you do for me, chef? I said, you know what? I will create something special that calls cauliflower wings, and the same sauce that go into the chicken, I will use that same sauce for your cauliflower wing.
And it had a crunch to it that just
Yes,
gave me that satisfying taste.
Yes. And that crunch, I don't use flour to batter my cauliflower wings. I use cassava, the fresh one. I grit the dust from it. I roll the cauliflower in that dust, and then that's what I use for like my batter. So it automatically turns into gluten-free.
Okay. Gluten-free, yes.
Gluten-free.
Thank you, Chef Chauncy, and thank you for tuning into another episode of Dianne's Call Natural Living Lifestyle Show.